So many people have come to me that have been seeking for a long time, looking for enlightenment, trying to find God, trying to find awakening. They've spent 50 years doing this and traveled all over the world, throughout India, lived in ashrams, been with many, many teachers, but still they haven't experienced this solidity of awakened consciousness. They are not living awakened consciousness, so they're still seeking, and that's why they come to me. And I wonder, why is this happening? That people for such a long time, that they have this bodhicitta, they have this bodhi mind, the mind that seeks awakening, and it's driving them, and they have a strong commitment to this, but still they're not awake. After all this time, they're still not awake. So why is this? What is happening with this? And often I'll ask them about sitting meditation, about zazen, and they'll say it's too hard for them. The mind just moves here and there, and it's not a practice that they developed. And I realize that this is why. Because without developing this practice of sitting meditation, which creates this concentration, this mental discipline, this what we call jiriki, this concentration, so the mind no longer distracts us, and we can focus on awakened consciousness without the mind pulling us away. Because this is what happens to them. They have these moments of awakening, these moments of clarity, and then the mind comes back again, and they're back in their own dream world again. They're back in the old dream world. And, this awakening, this clarity that comes just becomes a beautiful memory to them, not their daily life. They're not living this. And the reason for that is because they don't have the concentration and the focus that allows them not to be distracted by their minds. It's very simple. They're still distracted by their minds. So they can have this wonderful opening, but then the mind comes back and distracts them again. So sitting meditation, a regular, disciplined sitting meditation, is how we work on this jiriki. We work on this concentration so this doesn't happen anymore. So the mind no longer distracts us, and we can stay in awake consciousness without being distracted. This is a wonderful practice, and I hope you develop this. Really, you should work up to an hour in the morning and an hour at night as a regular practice. Eventually, over years, it just becomes part of your life. When we do this practice, it just becomes part of our life. But in the beginning, we need to have a disciplined, formal sitting practice. Sometimes it's easier to do this in groups, and we'll do this here in the Zendo in groups. But you need to also practice it on your own. It is your responsibility to do this practice. Nobody can give you this practice. This is your practice, and you need to do it, and you need to do it regularly. In the beginning, the mind may jump around like a monkey mind and distract you, and you just keep coming back. You just keep practicing. You just keep practicing. In the beginning, you practice on the breath. Using the breath, it's always available to you. Just practice concentrating on the breath and not being distracted by the mind. I'll present a number of different practices, zazen practices, to get you started so that you can do this easily and enjoy it. Enjoy this great peace that comes from this great openness and this great clarity that comes from this when your mind is no longer distracted. It will imbue your whole life with this peace. It's a wonderful practice. So I hope you do this, my friend.